Yo, this is Jimmy Trigger again on the second Triggerman podcast. Alright, we made it to the second one. Awesome. Thanks to everyone who has shared, liked, and listened to all the first two podcasts that I did. This week I have a friend of mine, Amelea Dark, who has a very interesting life to say the least. We discuss everything from the fetish porn industry, the sex industry, to politics, to outer space and other planets and science and all kinds of weird and wonderful opinions. This is, if you are of a fragile disposition, I would recommend you put on your earmuffs and go listen to Care Bears or something, because this is definitely R-rated, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So I hope you enjoy. This is the Triggerman podcast.
The ambience.
Okay.
I think we just started, by the way.
Okay, good.
Right there. I am a sweaty mess. How are you? I'm just going to start because that's how we did the last one. I'm going to relax. Sorry, you can relax as well. Like,
yeah.
So, and the Dice Man here is all.
Yeah, Dice Man. He's still wondering
He's
what the
chilling.
hell's going on.
So, for anyone that might be watching or listening, we don't have to pay attention to this thing, but I can move it a little bit here, whatever. Very professional podcaster. Episode 2 of the Triggerman podcast, I guess, is beginning right now, and I'm getting smelled by the dog.
Yeah.
And again, how are you? I am Jimmy Trigger. I don't know why that matters, but I guess I'm going to introduce. I am Triggerman. And episode 2, as I promised, is with Deuce Dos.
Those squared.
Squared, doing dirty things. This is going to be a fucking...
Shocker.
I was nervous doing the first... so everyone, this is my good friend.
Amelea Dark.
There you go.
Hello.
Because I will say it wrong again. Like,
so, it's okay.
Even though, no, because I was saying...
Where do you say it?
No, I say Amelda.
Amelda.
Yeah, because like at home, it's like, it's a common name to say Amelda. So
yeah.
So every time I read it, it's like, yeah, Amelda. That's
Amelda.
It's Amelda.
Interesting.
There. Yeah, I don't know. It's just...
Dice is all India now.
Yeah,
he barked at him for like 30 minutes when he came over.
Yeah.
He was sizing him up.
It's because I stink.
Nah, I think he's now trusting you. You probably stink too.
I have a more pungent smell. But I was talking to of all people that's really excited for me and you to have a chat. It's my girlfriend Ashley. So she's like, I know you have all these interesting people that you're going to be talking and all that shit. I cannot wait for this one.
Oh,
like, what? I was like, all right. So there must be some weird, like, and I gave her as much information as I had about you, and then she was like, she actually asked me today, goes, how did you guys meet? And I just realized we just spoke about that before we're recording. I was like, oh yeah, I was on a mattress on the floor in
at my neighbor's,
at your neighbor's apartment, and you walked in and you said you gave me hot dogs or something. So
yeah, you were hungry. I remember you were
right.
hungry, and you didn't really have much at that time.
No, I was like,
you were fresh off the boat or something.
Yeah. No, I moved from Denver. Yeah, I moved from Denver, and I was going back and forth because I had band stuff. And I remember I got back that week, and that's when you met me. Like, so drink that Starbucks. Fueled by it. One day I said I'll have sponsors for this, and I'll spend the first 10 minutes going, brought to you by Starbucks for all your caffeine needs.
Yes, we love Starbucks.
Yeah. I'm delaying starting because I honest to God don't know where to fucking start with you.
Okay.
So
just wherever.
I think you're really interesting. So,
okay, good.
And that's why I want to talk to you. And I think a lot of people will probably just listen or comment on this just because you're a very. This guy's going nuts.
I know.
He's awesome. No, let him over here. Can't over here. He's like, I'm just going to pee on something. Like even today, I was coming over. I was like, I'll just look. I see what it says. What she's into on like looking at Instagram. I follow you on Instagram. I was like, all right, she's into fucking everything though. Like you're like, as well as being super political, you're into nerdy space shit.
I am. Yeah.
You're into fitness. You're into home interior stuff,
yeah.
like decorated.
Yeah.
All this like cool stuff, but also I don't want to fucking.
Also, what, Jimmy?
Also, you have a fetish porn career?
I do. It's interesting. It fell in my lap, literally.
This is so cool.
It fell in between my legs.
Oh my god! I can. I don't know about like anyone here that might be listening, because I know people in Ireland have been listening because they've sent me messages and stuff like that.
Hey, so, Ireland!
How is, lads?
I'm 22% Irish. I just did my DNA.
Oh, you did
test.
the thing? Well, I want to talk about that as well.
Okay.
But I guarantee you, like they're they're cursing at the YouTube screen or something, whatever. They're like, fuck him, fucking sitting on a couch with a fucking fetish porn. What the fuck's going on? So and I'm like, hey, this is my life now, and you are actually a friend of mine, so that's why I'm doing it. Want to interview you as well, but that is part of your life.
Yeah, it's like a secret part of my life. Not necessarily secret, but you know, I guess I could say it's my alter ego.
Yeah.
You know, and how I got involved in it is in 2012 I graduated from film school. And
it all starts in film school.
Yeah.
Downhill from there.
And with film, you don't need a degree to do film, but I did it, and it was a good creative outlet for me at that time because my dad passed in 2009, and I just needed to get myself involved in something. So did film school. Anyways, graduated, and I went to a birthday party in the Valley, and it was a porn star's birthday party.
Fucking Hollywood. I love it.
I know, me too, right? I was like, oh my god, this town's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all walks of life from around the world here.
Yeah,
and
crazy.
Some people that I'm like, are you even from Earth? Like, where are you from?
Yeah,
like, but it was a party at a dungeon studio.
Yeah, the norm.
Yeah, so I've never been around fetish or dominatrix or submissive or the whole bondage scene, or I've never been around that before. So it says you have to dress the part. So I got a dog collar and a latex outfit, and at that time I had really long black hair. And
I remember that.
Yeah, and went, and I go in, and everyone's dressed up as like gothy vampires, and there was like literally like a cult like celebration thing. It was really weird. Like they had like a theatrical show where a vampire kills a woman, and then in this birthday party, and they're all porn stars acting this out, and the woman wakes up and then gives birth to Damien Satan. And Christina Carter, who I call her Christina Carter, fuck me harder, but
wow.
But she
became
she was
R-rated,
dressed up as a naughty nurse and pulls the baby out of the new vampire woman, and everyone holds up the baby and it's like, "Hail Satan, hail Satan!" And I'm like, where am I? But I kind of like it. So Christina Carter approached me that night.
Fuck me harder. Okay.
Christina Carter, fuck me harder.
Yeah.
She approached me that night, and like I said, I've never been on a porn set. I love porn.
Yeah.
I watch it.
If you don't,
I masturbate to it.
You're a liar.
Yeah.
I have that. It's like if you ask someone straight, I was like, "Did you ever watch porn?" Oh, I don't. You're a fucking liar. Shut up. You watch porn. You're a fucking human.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Everyone likes boobs.
Don't act suppressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even other women like other women's boobs. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird phenomenon.
Yeah.
Boobs, science,
Hey,
whatever.
we all suck on the tit when we're babies. So
It's gonna be such a weird podcast.
Mama.
Oh god.
Well, she approaches me and she's like, I'm trying a new avenue for production. I heard you just graduated from film school. What do you do? And I was like, well, I prefer directing, but I'll do anything from editing to lighting, but I prefer directing. And she goes, well, are you interested in shooting girl-on-girl porn? And I was like, well, does it pay? And she told me, and I was like, sign me up.
I don't even. I will. I do. I can't. Well, I shouldn't ask. Okay, never mind. But
What?
is a substantial. It's like, I'm not asking you what's in your bank account, but is it a substantial?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's sex sells. It pays great. It's really interesting. So the fetish world is a different dynamic than just hardcore porn.
Okay.
Like, people are into feet, so they just want to see feet, or someone stomping in a cake, or taking your toe and rubbing a vagina. I don't.
Okay. All right.
It's different. This particular fetish that she hired me for, I guess these girls, these fetish stars, have fans that will actually write scripts and send them to their favorite fetish star.
Yeah.
And the fetish star will get back to the fan and say, hey, Here's the budget if you want me to shoot this for you. And the fan actually pays for the shoot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That explains some of the DVDs. Because I'm like, who the fuck can make that? Like,
I'm like, where did I saw? I'll grab one here in a
yeah,
second.
over there, yeah.
But so she sends me the script. She explains this to me. She sends me the script, and I'm reading it, and I want to make it look really good because this is the first time I've ever shot a porn, and I just was like, I wanted to make a person
that's in it.
No, I'm as a director.
As a director.
As a director. Yeah, this is how I started.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So I wanted to make it look really good, really professional, and now that I know I've been on sets, it's usually you plan out the shot and then you shoot it in one shot and then pause for a couple of inserts and then you move on. Well, I wanted different lenses.
Inserts.
Yeah, I wanted different literally.
Yeah, sorry.
I wanted different lenses. I wanted the lighting to look great. I just wanted to make it look really artistic and sexy at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm at home and I got the script, and there's this one particular scene that says Angela Summers is passed out by chloroform in the bed, which is fake chloroform.
Okay, yeah.
But the customer wanted her to be chloroformed.
Right.
Some of this shit gets pretty deep, and weird, interesting.
Is this for afterwards? Is this for sale or is it just for the person?
They give it to the person, and the girls can also sell it on their sites. The content.
Okay.
So it's like everybody gets a win-win situation.
Yeah.
And pretty much everyone that works on it gets it too, unless there's some kind of contract or whatever. Well, there's this particular scene. It says that Angela Summers has been chloroformed and is tied up in bed. Christina Carter puts the penis gag in Angela Summers' mouth. And I pause because I'm writing down my shot list. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what the fuck is a penis gag? Do you know what a penis gag is?
Oh, I'm going to Google one later. What the fuck? Okay, go on.
Okay, well, do you know what a ball gag is? So the ball is in your mouth and it straps to your face.
Yeah.
Well, this is actually a big dick strapped to your face.
With the dick pointing out.
With the dick pointing out, but at least 2 to 3 inches in your mouth. Oh. So it is still kind of a little bit of torture.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know this at the time. So I call up Christina Carter and I'm like, hey, I'm thinking of my shot list. I'm going through the thing and I had a question because what is a penis gag? She goes, well, instead of a ball gag, it's a dick strapped to her face. And when I put it on there, I'm going to fuck her face.
I just like to say, Ma, I'm really sorry about this. She'll actually watch this. She won't give a fuck, which is hilarious.
But yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay. And I hang up the phone and I put insert face fucking. And I thought, oh my God, I'm a porn director.
Cool.
Yes.
I've made it. Hollywood.
Hollywood. Jeez. But it was a really surreal, interesting experience. And we shot it in 6 hours and ended up being a 45-minute feature.
Is this just girl on girl, right?
Just girl on girl.
Oh, yeah, because I'm like, a dude for 6... How the fuck do you stay hard?
Yeah, girl on girl. Everything that I've been involved in is girl on girl, except for Dungeon Corp, which it's 2 male doms that beat the living crap out of me, basically.
All right. Again, I don't know where to go with this, so you just keep going.
Yeah, but with Christina Carter, the shoot that she hired me for, it was a 45-minute feature. It was my first one. I edited the whole thing, and you asked me, is it lucrative?
Yeah.
And, I'll be honest with you, with that particular shoot, for shooting it and editing it, I got $1,200.
Okay, that's not that much.
It was still great.
But it was your first time, though.
Yeah, it was my first time. But it actually is okay because now that I've been on set, like I said, I wanted to make good. I did it really professionally, just like in a feature film, how I shot it. But now that I've been on set, it's literally shoot. It's just go.
Yeah.
It's go. They don't give a shit about lighting, all that stuff. And they do to a point, but there's faster ways of doing it. I could have done, now that I know, I could have done it in 2 hours versus 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I ended up taking that film and entering it into the Los Angeles Fetish Film Festival. and out of 40 directors, I was the only female director, and I ended up winning the whole thing.
And I remember being very proud.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, and it was my first festival as a director to put something in a festival, and it's a small festival, but still, the Los Angeles Fetish Film Festival.
I'll get it. You keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Los Angeles Fetish Film Festival, it's pretty cool to say that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my trophy. It's, I believe this is an 8mm camera. But yeah, it says,
if we're technically speaking.
Winner, Best Video, Amelea Dark, and the title of the film is called The Unexpected House Guest.
That was totally expected, but whatever.
Yeah.
Get that,
Yeah, The Unexpected House Guest.
Oh, I remember you telling me. I think I met you out or something, and you were like, "Oh, I just won my first award." And I was like, "What did you win?" Fetish. I'm the only woman to win it at the time, right? Back then.
At least for this festival.
Yeah. So I was like, "Holy shit!" And the thing is, actually, a funny story about my mother, my ma. I was driving to the work or something last week, and she's like, "How are things?" And I goes, "Oh yeah, I'm doing podcasts. Did one there with Bob and the lads, and my first podcast. If you haven't seen it, look at Triggerman podcast episode 1." I was like, "Oh yeah," and I have a friend of mine coming on, and man, she's like, I don't know if we're going to talk about it, but she's like a fetish porn star. Now we were talking to like a little old Irish lady that's like in a cottage on the side of a mountain,
which is awesome,
on a rock in the middle of an ocean somewhere.
Sounds like a fetish film to me.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, sorry, Ma.
That's not good. And she goes, "I don't give a fuck what she does as long as she's happy doing it." I'm like, what the fuck? This is so cool.
No, but moms are cool.
No, moms are cool. Like, and like even like me doing what I'm trying to pursue in life. I don't know what I smell.
He likes it.
That's my nuts. It's just like, it's nice to have those people support you and all that shit as well, and do weird stuff like that. So, or even just friends. So I was like, when you told me, I remember when you told me, and I was like, I think I introduced you anytime I met you out, and I was like, "Oh, this is my friend, and she just won a director's thing, and it's an Oscar. It's a fucking Oscar." I don't know. It was just, it's amazing, and I'm proud of like anytime I hear of that, like especially in like this
people
town.
just pushing and accomplish. Yes, but just push and accomplish something, like
it makes me feel
steps. Good. Yeah, that people are out there doing stuff, because yes, this town will suck you in and spit you out so fast. Yeah, you won't even have time to fucking queef.
I know, and that's it. Wow. If you don't know what queef is, you can look up that on Google as well. Google image that one.
It kind of sounds like an underwater squiddy.
Oh my god. I'll edit that part out. But no, it's true. Like, we're in the heart of Hollywood. Hollywood is like right there right now. Like, so the streets, right, you can probably hear it.
If you could see outside, you can see the Hollywood sign off the balcony right here.
It's like right there. And like, the one thing I have learned is like, there's a different, that we're all in the entertainment industry, music industry, film industry, and I just found it hard to find like good, genuine, nice people in it that I'm happy for their successes, or don't have a ulterior motive, or
what are you gonna do for me?
Yeah, or yeah, exactly. And it's just like that, and that's why I always kind of liked you as well. I was kind of like, oh, you're just fucking, like, I hate to belittle your fetish imagery or whatever like that, but you're a nice fucking person. So
yeah. And everyone that I work with is so professional, and it's their business, it's their industry. I mean, Los Angeles will, it's like the porn capital of the world, at least in the Valley. But, I mean, it's just a 9-to-5 gig. People do it. They make a living off of it.
There's a stupid question. I remember they were trying to bring into, like, law or something, California, in porn, they had to wear, like, condoms and stuff, but did that go? Is that a thing or no, or do they still have to do it?
Like I said, I don't deal with dudes, so it didn't really affect me. Yeah. But I do have a buddy, Wolf. He does bisexual porn and regular porn, but
is he gay? Or is he bisexual?
I've seen him get banged with a strap on in a video, so. Wow. But by a woman. Yeah. But I've seen him also in video, like, making out with it. So I'm assuming, let's just say I guess he's gay, but, I mean, but he loves chicks. So, but I remember him posting, it was like Prop 60 or something like that. All of them were saying no to it because I guess it's just one step to have more control over our industry. And when it comes to like fluid swapping and sexual stuff, you have to get tested 24 hours before a shoot. And
so there's rules. Like, it's not like,
there's rules.
yeah, okay.
Like, you have to get tested all the time and all that stuff, which is fine, you know.
Yeah. Well, if you're clear, well, it makes for a healthy work environment. I don't know how to fucking say that. I'm like, what? I was like, oh, did you hear about Mary? She's got herpes. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess she's fired. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's like, even with God, without sounding like a complete dick, I can speak on behalf of all men everywhere. As soon as we see condoms in porn, we turn it off.
Yeah,
like,
I get it.
It's a buzzkill. I don't know. I know that's such a fucked up thing to say. Maybe, I don't know. Especially if I'm trying to maintain like this. Oh, he's a nice guy, and then I'm on podcast saying, if I see a condom in porn, I'm out. Like, I'm like, but that's the truth. Like, so it's just. And by Jesus, like, if anyone's like fucking 12 years old, listen to this, wear a condom.
Yeah,
well, no,
definitely wear a condom. It's good to have safe sex.
Yeah.
You know,
but this is different. I think this is like there's an industry in it, and it comes with a set of rules.
Yes, like I said, I don't deal with the opposite sex when it comes to filmmaking. When it comes to adult stuff, I haven't really.
So how did it get from behind the camera to in front of the camera?
Well, the girls started sending pictures to their clients of me filming behind the scenes, and then writing back going, wait a minute, can she be in the next script that I do? And then they told me the pay is more
shit.
in front of the camera than you are behind the camera. But what really happened was Dungeon Corp. I was filming for them, like, as a camera operator, and Dungeon Corp is a hardcore BDSM, which is like,
I don't know what that means.
BDSM, so it's bondage, like dominatrix, having someone submit to the dom. They tie them up and they professionally torture you. Like the whole fetish thing that I was just talking about with the award, that's cosplay, and there's a story. This is, you get tied up and you get your ass handed to you. You get whipped. You get tied up upside down. The ball gag's so tight. You get electrocuted. You get like weights on your nipples while they spin you around.
And this is happening to you? Or?
So I was there on set, and they were filming in Reseda, California at that time, in a studio. And there was a porn star, and I won't say her name. She was supposed to be on set, and the owner already paid for the space. We're all there ready to shoot. You know, got like the lighting guy, the camera department, wardrobe people, and everything good to go. Well, an hour passes by. The star still isn't there. The owner of Dungeon Corp starts making phone calls to see if he can get a replacement, because we found out that this girl was still in San Diego from partying the night before. And he's like, well, I'm going to lose money, so I'm going to try and get someone. So he, a half hour goes by, and he was like getting pissed, and I was like, so how much exactly were you going to pay this girl, and what is it that you're going to do? And I could see the light bulb go off in his head, like, hey. And he told me it was a 4-hour shoot with 4 different scenes. And each scene was like 10 to 20 minutes long. And it was just 4 different bondage, like, tie-up. Yeah. And we made a deal. I was like, can you pay me a little more since I'm doing it on the spot? And they also have this thing that if you get bruised and you have other jobs, you get more money.
Holy shit. Hit me harder.
Yeah, I'm like, beat the shit out of me. But that was the first time I was ever in front of the camera. And because I never was tied up or the one that was in front of the camera before, I didn't know my limits. Yeah. Because there's safe words. Like yellow or something like that, like for caution. And because I didn't know my limits, they really pushed me hard. Like, there was one scene that they take my knee and fold it towards my ass and hog tie it, right? Yeah. And then they put this huge hook around it and hoist me 7 feet in the air. So now I'm upside down from my knee. Yeah. So then they take my other leg and go like this and tie it like this. So,
if you're not watching this on YouTube, you should probably get on the. Oh dear.
So my knees up in the air and I'm upside down, right? And my legs like this tied to the ground while this one's tied to the ceiling.
Okay.
And then I had long black hair at that time, and they braided my hair and tied it to the back of my hair, and then had a what they call a butt plug fish hook.
Uh-huh.
A fish hook was in my asshole to the back that my hands were tied to, with my hair tied to that. So if I tried to move my head, it would pull up on the hook of my ass, and then my legs were like this, and had the ball gag in my mouth. And on my pussy, they were putting electroshocks on my pussy.
Well, no, we're 25 minutes in and we said pussy. Okay, we're not doing so bad. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
Am I allowed to say that?
You're allowed to say that, and you fuck cunt, shit, balls, dicks, whatever. I don't
Okay.
care.
But, and like I said, I didn't know my limits, and like I said, when it came to this stuff, I didn't understand why people were into that. Like, why, but it's such an outer body euphoric experience because sexually, it's pushing your body physically.
Is this sexual though?
It kind of feels good because they're fucking with your clit, and you're like, it's mind over matter. Like you're upside down and you're getting whipped with a like a single cattail. Mm-hmm. And then there's like suction things sucking on your pussy, and you're like, that feels good, but I'm hurting on the other parts of my body. Yeah. And so it's like this mental euphoric out of body state of.
I remember when I discovered that jerking off with moisturizer felt better, but that's about it. Like I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. I don't like. Maybe it's because I have like a horrifically guilty conscience about everything. Like something else we were talking about before we started filming about the dog is humping a blanket.
It's Dice Man has, I call him his girlfriends. Dice Man's my chihuahua.
Yes.
And he has these blankets called his girlfriends, and he starts shagging them. And he's doing that right now as we're speaking. So.
He is fucking that blanket up. Anyway.
There's a lot of sexual tension in the air.
Yeah, no shit. Well, I'm fucking very uncomfortable, so this is definitely like a bondage thing or whatever. But for me, it's like, it's not that, look, I'm not sensitive, and I don't give a fuck. As long as everyone I know is like, as long as you're okay, I don't care what's happening. But me looking at that, the first thing I remember when I was 18, I went to this Spanish island that's called Tenerife. It's where like English people go mainly to go on vacation and stuff like that. And I went to my first strip club, and we went in, and me and my friend, I could throw him under the bus now. Oh no, I actually went because Glenn, you were with me, all right? So me and my friend Glenn, we went to this strip club, and like there were like small, it's no bigger than actually your apartment, the whole place.
Oh yeah.
And the girl comes up and they do the kind of hi, nice to see you, would you like to have a dance or whatever like that? And I'm like, I don't know. And then he was like, yeah, we're fucking getting one each. And I was like, oh shit, alright. And I remember going in, and I just like, I just don't know the person, and I felt so fucking uncomfortable. And I remember talking to her afterwards, and I was like, so where are you from? And then I actually said, like, do your parents know you do this? And I was like, oh Jesus, what am I doing? And like literally like 10 15 years later, me and the lads my friend Bunny came over from Ireland, and we were in Vegas, and we went to another fucking strip club, and it felt the same. And I was like, only because I didn't know them, and it felt and they weren't, I don't know. And I know is it okay if I say that you're in that career?
Yeah. I also dance at the Spearmint Rhino.
Yeah, so. That's in downtown LA.
Yeah, downtown Los Angeles. Yeah, it's a trip. It's a interesting. The sex industry is a very interesting animal, but I mean, that we're humans. It's the part of
we all do it.
It's one of the oldest industries, around.
Yeah. I was even talking about that yesterday. We were, I was just driving with, so Ashley's band, who was recording an album. I don't know if that's a good time to plug that at all. This is a fucked up. I hope none of her fans are actually watching this, because we're all about 15. But we were talking about like that even yesterday, coming up, like the sex industry, the sex trade, and I was like it has been around. It probably is the longest running business in the history of probably man or
everybody
civilized
does
world.
it. Birds
Everybody
do
does
it.
it.
Bees do it.
Yeah, there's a song
Monkeys
written
do
about
it.
it. Yeah, there's a fucking song written about it. And like we were talking about it, like just kind of like the pros and cons, and like I was talking about actually a good idea of like, say, whether it is, if it's stripping, or like as we were saying, like the porn industry, where it has a set of rules, or like even to go as far as, and I don't like not naming names, like prostitution and stuff. If it is regulated and
Like in Nevada, the Bunny Ranch.
I heard about this a few months ago, and I was like, and only because like I love MMA, I love UFC.
Those girls get paid.
Yeah, but there was this there was an MMA podcast. So it's fighting, but the guy that is one of the analysts for one of these sites, he's like, oh yeah, I also double as the caretaker or whatever of a brothel, or what is that what it is? Yeah. I say that like, is that what it is? I don't know, because I'm waiting out. You know more terminology like ball, penis gags, and all that stuff. I don't know about that shit. But he was telling us about like how it is, like it's safe for them, they're safe, it's regulated, like, so there's like rules, there's like the clients have to be fucking like looked at and all like that. It's just like there's protection that they're. I was like, that just sounds like a fucking job, like a good job to have. And the fact of the matter is, as you said, we all do it. Yeah, we're all gonna do it. And like I was talking,
and some people they want a fantasy, because either they have bad social skills, so they can't meet anyone, or they're in a horrible marriage. Yeah, and they want to escape from that.
Yeah, and that was my thing though as well. I said it, like I put myself in a hypothetical situation, and I said, like, if I was because there are these dudes, you see them, like, so, and I want to ask you about the strip club as well, like, so, but you do see these guys that, like, they just, there's no personality there, there's no nothing.
I think I've met a serial killer once before.
Oh fuck! Okay, what? Cool.
Yeah, so downtown LA, the Rhino. I mean, you got to think, Los Angeles is like one of the most popular, biggest cities in the United States. Yeah. And
there's only about 10 million people in Los Angeles city vicinity, or right? That
like I think right now though, I think we're at 44 million people
in the county of Los Angeles. That's in fucking insane.
Yeah, and where we're located downtown, like we're by the Staples Center, where the Clippers and the Lakers play. We're by the convention centers down there. So men and women all around the world fly in, do business, and then they come to the club to escape, and just, be worshipped and all that. And so I meet all walks of life of people. And there was this one time that, and I'm really good at reading people. This job actually has improved my skills on that. Shit. But it was just like, this guy had dead look in his eyes. Like, there was just something that I was like, oh my God, was he just wearing someone's skin before he came in here? Put the lotion on its skin, like. It puts the lotion. But it was just something that I slowly just kind of like inched my way away from him. Yeah. But it was just something like that literally gave me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah. And I see a lot of shit. Like, there was this old man that comes in the club. I don't know, he's about 75.
That's what I'm talking about.
And he wears sweatpants, and all he does is he just wants a lap dance. But he pulls up his sweatpants, and he has lacy thigh highs on.
All right.
And he just wants to be choked and slapped. That's all he wants. 75 years old.
That's what's keeping you young, man. Whatever. Like
so I mean, like I've literally seen it all, and there was this other time I was actually dancing in Indiana at that time. I was flying. I'm a showgirl too sometimes, so I'll get flown to go perform because I do crazy pole tricks. But
we're talking about that as well.
Yeah, so I saw this guy with this plaid jacket sitting down, and none of the girls were coming up to him. And I was like, all right, this guy's probably got some fucking money. I'm going to get it out of him, So I walk over, and he was very introverted. So I was just trying to, like, get him some personality out of him, like, trying to make a connection, because that's how you get that dollar bill, yo.
Hustle.
So he goes really quiet after, like, 10 minutes of trying to talk to him. He goes, can you really quietly in my ear say, cock? And I was like, okay, so
A doodle do. No, okay.
yeah. And I was like, okay, if this is what this dude wants, whatever. So I'm like, cock. And he was like, do it again. So I said it a few more times. And he goes, so I want to do a VIP, but can you wear this? And he opens up this jacket, and it literally was a 2-foot long, big, thick black strap on. And I go, and what exactly is it that you want me to do with that? Yeah. Other than wear it, obviously. And he goes, well, I want you to put it on and just slap me in my face with it and just keep saying cock, cock, cock over and over.
Oh, man, I'm getting kicked off YouTube.
I got $500 in 15 minutes off of him.
What the fuck? I'll slap him in the face.
I'll slap that motherfucker.
I got a cock. Holy shit, it's not 2 foot, but I'll fucking slap him around.
I fucking beat the hell out of his face. But I was saying, like, I literally, this industry and this job, nothing really surprises me anymore. So when it comes to, like, politics and, like...
Good segue.
You know, but what I'm saying, when it comes to politics and them, like, taking over women's bodies and all this shit, I'm like, it's 2017. Yeah. I'm wearing a strap on, slapping people in their faces.
And getting $500.
Like, and you want to control... So, I mean, like, it just... Nothing surprises me.
But that, no, I'll ruin every segue by going, that was a good segue. Like, that's... I kind of want to keep talking about that stuff, but that's you are heavily like we're friends online and stuff like that, and I see a lot of stuff, and you have a lot of opinions on politics as well.
Yeah.
So, like, I do,
and
I think like even like the first guys I had on the first podcast, like I was like, oh man, I'm going to do my very first podcast. It's going to go south fast because the 2 guys are going to slander and slay everyone that's fucking like anything to do with the current president guy, you know. And then
or were they?
No, they're completely against. But it turned into a thing of holy shit. Like, it was really civilized and just facts and information that could have been used, and
not alternative facts.
No. Yeah. Ones that are made up, and it's just like holy shit. And all the feedback was like, I was completely shocked because I was like, oh man, fucking YouTube comments, here we go. Like, and it turned into like, oh, that was actually really interesting. Thanks very much for your opinion on it and like that. And just like, I see you, like, I think maybe it's like a California thing or maybe just a Los Angeles thing or something, like, but it is a lot of the opinions are the same, and it is fairly liberal based. Like, where do you stand on... What a weird segue that was. Yeah. Like, getting slapped in the face by cocks
to President Trump.
Yeah. Oh, how far do we get? Okay, so fucking nearly 40 minutes and we dropped the T-bomb again. Like, so...
I still have a hard time saying that.
Well, like, what is that to you? Like, because, like, I know...
Well, you know what? I get, like, people are frustrated. I mean, like, the whole world was in a recession after 9/11. I mean, the whole world was. Before that, I remember I used to bartend at Indy and was making stupid money just bartending, and then 9/11 happened, there was nothing. So, I mean, like, I understand, like, people struggled, like, in the small towns and stuff. There's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
And I get that. And at first, when the elections started happening, and all the Republicans were having their debate, I actually liked Trump for a second because... I didn't say second. Yeah. Because he was totally screwing up the whole Republican Party.
Yeah.
And I, like, Ted Cruz, like, and Marco Rubio, and, Ted Cruz, and them having these debates and talking about how small Donald Trump's hands are. And,
I was like, what is this?
But then Donald Trump started feeding on fear and fascism in his campaigns. And middle America, the flyover states, and I'm from there, so it's like, whatever, I feel like I can say that.
Yeah, you're an Indiana girl.
Yeah, I'm a Hoosier, but a Hoosier daddy.
Oh my God.
But it's like, unfortunately, there is racism in the middle of states because there's not a lot of culture, I mean, like, we come to bigger cities to do more things and to explore more options. And I love my hometown, don't get me wrong, but it is full of racism all over the place. And Donald Trump found that one particular group of followers who do like alternative facts because they watch Fox News, and it's so biased, And it's like those people don't even care about real facts anymore. And
it's also hard to change. Like, and there's the thing. I'm trying to, like, when I talk about this stuff with anyone. Are these all mine? They're all mine.
yeah.
Sorry. When I do talk to people about this, I'm like, I really do want to take a middle ground on it, because I just want to hear like what you have to say, and like and just like I said to the other guys in the first podcast, I want to talk to like the opposite of them and the opposite of you to see like, what are you saying, and do you really fucking believe this? Because you can debunk a lot of stuff by just Googling stuff. Like,
and people don't, because they want to believe what they want to believe.
Yeah, or like there's like,
at least the conservatives. I find that conservatives, yes, there are far left liberals.
Well, which are really fucking annoying. Like, so that pisses me. I think honestly that pisses me off more, because like you got on the train of like, hey, this is obviously the right thing to do. A lot of it is based on logic and facts, and there's science somewhere there, and even if there is a religion involved, it's like, well, you know, we're doing it for the greater good. I
personally think religion does not belong in state.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't. Like, so, but then they went so far fucking left, it might as well have come back around on the right side, because like you sound foolish. And my argument is that if you're trying to convince me of something, and your way of convincing me is to shout at me or scream at me or throw something, and I'm not going to fucking listen to you.
Yeah.
But if you can sit down and like have a conversation,
intelligent conversation.
Yeah. And like, it doesn't even like, you can give me what you think are facts. Like, it's fine. It doesn't, because like we can easily just go check them.
Yeah.
Like, and be like, oh well, this is actually what's happening. And it's like, well, let's go check it out. Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
That's not actually what's happening. Do you accept that?
Right.
No, fuck you. I'm like, no, come on. Like, and I said it in the last time as well. Like, it's like, there's no harm in being wrong. Like, you know, you're allowed to be wrong. Like, you're allowed to make mistakes. That's what it's all about. So I haven't actually met many super right people. Again, I don't really meet.
Get out of the state and you'll find.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so, and then also like,
or down in Orange County.
Yeah, that's where I'm living right now. Like, so.
Okay.
And it's just like, there is an argument to be made as well, like about Billy Bob in fucking somewhere Kentucky or something like that, or like wherever the fuck you live, that the avenues for information and stuff are far and few between. And as you said, we moved to places like Los Angeles or Hollywood or wherever the fuck it is, where it's densely populated. There's like tons of
all cultures from around the world.
There's religions. There's fucking everything all over the place.
It's just not Christianity. There's atheism, which is nothing.
No,
I love atheism, but like the Catholic, Jews, like Muslim, like it's just it's there, not just Christianity. Which that's what the Conservative Party has been really pushing. And it's just like, no, like,
it's also been used though as a, like, there. See, I grew up really strict Catholic, and being older and stuff, like, I realized what it was used for. Like, and like, don't get me wrong, fucking, it's totally fine if you believe something. You're fine if it gives you a sense of.
Don't push it on others that don't want it.
And as well as that, you don't, like, without sounding like a dick, you don't need it. So if you're into it and it gives you a sense of community and love and strength and all that shit and blah blah blah. Sorry, I'm not sorry. It's garbage. Like, if that's what you need to feel human, then fine. But that does not make you fucking better than anyone else, and that shouldn't be used as a weapon. And that's exactly what they're using now.
That's what ISIS does.
There you go. And there's a funny thing. The guy said in the last episode was like, whether you're Christian or fucking Mike, with the guy that was talking, he was like, I can't believe that I did this in the last few weeks, but I've been defending Muslims. And then the next thing is, but I don't like them either. Like, it's just like, why am I defending these people? Like, it's like, you guys are fucking retarded. Like, you're using something that isn't actually, and like, from whatever research I've done on America and all like that, and I love America, I don't care, I love living here. I wouldn't be here otherwise. And if you look into the history of it, I know more about the history of America than 98%
most people here.
And the fact of the matter is, it wasn't,
which is crazy.
it shouldn't actually play a part in our decision making or the way we judge people or anything like that. What a weird segue that was as well. How the fuck did we get from that? But yeah, and it goes back to like I remember learning about like Christianity and stuff like thousands of years ago, or like the Julius Caesar era or whatever. And he was one of the first guys to, and I don't know if this is even fact. I'm just saying what I heard and learned, and it makes perfect sense. So don't ever look. I'm not particularly a fucking educated person. It's just I hear things, I read things, I'm like, oh shit, that makes sense to me.
Me too.
Well, apparently his theory was that if he could use religion, like a mass religion, he could control easier with fear. And that's something you talked about as well. I was
like Trump's a Christian. Okay, people.
He isn't his fuck. Like,
I mean, he's playing that card just to get those votes.
Yeah, no, sweet baby Jesus don't give a fuck about him. And
then Mike Pence, who was the governor of Indiana.
That guy's crazy.
You know, the freedom of religion law that was discriminating against gays, which I have a cousin who's lesbian in India, and like literally she didn't get served at a restaurant in Indiana with her lover because she's gay, because it's against their religion.
Like
that
in
particular
the last year?
Owner. 2 years ago.
2 years, yeah. Still,
and that was when Pence...
2015.
Yeah.
What was the other thing I heard about him actually only today was he wanted to take evolution out of the curriculum in schools because he believed that it was against the doctrine of fucking the Bible. I'm like going, but that's science. Like that's
science proof. Nothing has been proved in the Bible.
Yeah, and
it's a 2,000-year-old book that says the world is 6,000 years old and dinosaurs didn't exist.
Yeah.
Well, we have proof that the world is 4.5 billion years old.
Yeah.
And dinosaurs do exist. As a matter of fact, Trump and his getting rid of the EPA is using dinosaur fossil fuel.
Oh man,
that's
hilarious.
So I mean, like,
I gotta emphasize. Literally, like 5 minutes ago, we were talking about getting slapped in the face with a 2-foot black dildo. Now you're dropping bombs. Like it's like because these are facts. Like they're
facts.
They're fucking. And this is something you're interested in as
I'm
well.
I'm very interested. Like I love Richard Dawkins, who is a
cool.
evolutionary biologist, and he like basically quit teaching science in that field, and also as a professor, I forget what school he's teach at, just to prove people that religion is a man-made ideology, and that you have to believe in the facts. And we're saying it's okay if you want to believe in your religion or whatever. Yeah. My mom was Christian and my dad was Catholic, and I was a choir girl in church, believe it or not, when I was little.
Me
but
too.
It never felt right to me.
Yeah.
It never did. And I really didn't know really jack shit about science or the universe and planets and the solar system shit until I moved to Los Angeles, because Indiana is suppressed.
Yeah. Like the rest of the world, though. So
yeah, I mean, so it's been a really interesting experience.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I remember I grew up strict Catholic, was the head choir boy or whatever like that. Like, so I didn't like it. I actually had to get a letter written from my mother to get out of choir because I didn't like singing songs about Jesus. Like, it was just like, hey, guess what? Now I'm a singer. Way great, like good job me. But it never made sense.
What's that noise?
Oh, it's this.
Oh.
Fizzy bottle. Good call. And it's just, it never made sense to me. So I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, get out of this. And it just like, if I did feel suppressed and weird about it, like, so, and then like, I remember walking home from school one time when I was like 13. Like, nowadays 13-year-olds are fucking very experienced in life and their phones, and they know they've seen porn. I remember asking my friend walking home, he goes, hey, what's the word again when two girls are together? And he goes, oh, lesbians. Oh, yeah, lesbians. I was 13.
Right.
Like, give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
And it was like, even older than that, I knew there was Catholics and I knew there was Protestants, because in Ireland, there's a divide in, like, there's Northern Ireland, which is part of Great Britain, which is majority is Protestant, and then Southern Ireland, my Ireland is like Catholic majority. So I knew there was two, and there was always a war and a feud, and that was it really. That's all the religions there are, right? He goes, well, no, and then no, there's Jews, and there's fucking Orthodox, fucking other things, and this and that, and there's people that believe in this. And I'm like, wait, what? It goes, so who's right? Like, who got this right? Like, where does it all begin?
Yeah.
And I remember because my mother, she says she doesn't go to church anymore like that, and she just says like, I don't go to church, I think they're all hypocrites. They're fucking, it's all full of shit. There was a massive paedophile scandal in Ireland, like with hundreds of priests getting done for all that shit.
Man, like it's like that movie. Did you
Spotlight.
see that? Yes,
Amazing. Freaked me out. Freaked me to fucking Michael Keaton.
That's what I'm saying. It's corruption.
Yeah, and but the thing is, like, there's the thing, like, we're all human. We're not like infallible towards like fucking like, oh well, I would never commit a sin. I would never do a crime. I would never kill somebody. Like, I'll say those things. I don't ever want to kill anybody. And I said in the last podcast, like, but what stops me killing someone as well is, like, I'm afraid of my potential for destruction. So I'm aware of, Jesus, I could easily fucking maim someone or fuck someone up real easily. I could simply go into the grocery store, fucking steal the fucking, like, I could do bad things. Just don't do them because it's the wrong thing to do. Just like the thing about me being in the, like, bringing back kind of the strip club thing, like, I would be more, this is so weird maybe to say, like, so I'd be more comfortable with my girlfriend, I'll bring her as well, to go see you perform in the Spearmint, because I know you, I don't have to feel bad about anything. Hey, it's fucking, look, it's my friend, it's like, wait, oh, there are her boobs, way, fucking shaking girl, like, I would feel better because I know you, I feel like I'm more close to you, and whereas if I'm looking at someone that's doing it, I'm like, I don't know what their life is, I don't know what do they believe in, do they want to do this, like, is it something they're comfortable with, like, are they being made do it, what's going on?
Pretty much all the women that I've met in the industry, they all want to do it because they're mentally fine with it.
Yeah.
And they're either freaks or they do it for the money, and they would rather do that than work for corporate.
Yeah.
Because I used to be a senior account executive for a public relations firm.
Jesus.
And then in 2008 and 2009, and my boss was a complete asshole. But I stuck it through. But then in 2008 and 2009, when everyone in America was losing their corporate jobs, I was one of those people.
Yeah.
And so when I graduated from film school, I was just like, you know what? Screw the corporate world. I'm going to go strip. And I do like to entertain, and I liked being an entertainer, and I kind of like being naked. It's kind of liberating.
Yeah. Follow your Instagram.
And, you know, it's not obviously a lifetime thing, but it works, and the money's fast, and it's great, and it's helping me survive way better now than I ever have in 12 years living out here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not living paycheck to paycheck right now. I have my moments, but it's just nice that I'm finally be able to save something just from dancing.
Yeah. And like, that's the thing as well. Like, it's like even what my mother said is like, hey, as long as she's like happy doing it, and she's
that's
not,
what
like,
my mom is too.
Yeah. Well,
it's so funny because I grew up by the Indianapolis 500 Motor Speedway racetrack. And I told my mom that I was dancing, and she goes, well, you did grow up by the track, and since you were 5, you heard "Show Me Your Tits." Because at the track, everybody's just like Mardi Gras, everyone's flashing their boobs, and they're like, "Hey, flash your tits." And I'm like, "I'm 5 years old."
I'm like,
so my mom goes, "So I guess it's kind of my fault."
Your mom was like, "They were talking to me."
And my mom used to be a professional belly dancer.
There you go.
But I told her, I was like, "Really, Mom? Were you really a belly dancer?"
How far did it go? Like, so, yeah, I don't know. Like, I just like. Like, again, it's just like with, say, for example, right now, like with information about you and information, I feel more comfortable now. I just feel better. Like, I just feel like, oh yeah, I can fucking, not that, like, hey, you never know, we might show up one night.
Yeah.
Is there food?
I would love it. No food. No food.
God damn it.
But
chicken wings sell.
Warn me ahead of time, because in LA, an all nude club, there's no alcohol either. So some guys will sneak in flask or whatever. But if you guys come, I'll bring a bottle of like whatever you guys like to drink. And
like, it's just like, because I have been to, like, there's a like we're making friends, Jumbo's down the street, Clown Room. Yeah, like, that's not it's not really a strip bar.
Yeah, it's more like a burlesque bar. Actually, it used to be a strip club, and Courtney Love used to strip there.
Wow.
Before she became
who she is now.
Yeah,
crazy
but
person.
yeah, she used to be a stripper there.
No, I went there, and I remember one night, and it was just,
there's some talented performers there.
There was one chick, like, and honestly, I was like, yes, finally, because I like gym stuff, and I like strength, and I like athletes and stuff, actually, which is another segue for my next part here. And there was one chick did come on, and she was doing stuff that I couldn't even understand, like the science of the how the fuck she's on a pole balancing this way without that. Like, she must have incredible fucking muscle somewhere. But something I remember years ago you showed me, and you were working on, I guess as a film student or whatever, was like a pole documentary. And I remember watching it because you showed me, and I was like, it was like 20 minutes or 30 minutes long. And I watched it, and I told a bunch of people, I was like, dude, I was like, this is fucking weird. I was talking to
I actually never really finished it.
I know,
and I need to.
Yeah, you do, because like the reason is you showed it to me, and it actually changed my perspective on pole, and I was like, oh, because the way it came across in the documentary, man, I was fucking emotional watching it. I remember watching it here, and I was like, this is fucking saving people's lives. Like, holy shit, as much as like any other hobby is or any other activity is fucking...
Yeah, it's an apparatus that people use to use for addiction or grieving, or it's so pole dancing, but pole dance fitness or pole fitness,
which is something that you've done or you've trained in?
Yeah, so in 2009, an hour after my 30th birthday, my dad passed away of cancer.
Do the math. She looks good for her age.
I mean, I mean, wait,
21.
I mean my 20th birthday. But my dad passed, so that's when I went to film school, because well, let me back it up. I was pretty fucked up after Dad died. Watching my father die in front of me, I wouldn't have changed it for anything in the world. And I'm glad I was there and to comfort him at the end. We only knew 2 weeks he had cancer, and he was gone.
Wow.
And he was the urban cowboy. He was a railroad conductor. So I know that that's the way he wanted to be. He didn't want to burden the family with medical bills, because at that time we didn't have Obamacare, and the insurance companies wouldn't treat him because it was a pre-existing condition.
Yes,
what they were saying.
Stupid.
Yeah, so I mean, it would have been hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And so he just wanted to go. It was the time. But it fucked me up. I mean, I was laid off my corporate job, like I was talking about earlier. 2 months before my dad passed, so I was on unemployment. So I was getting a check every week or every other week, whatever it was. So I could stay in Indiana for a while after he died. Then when I came back, I was still getting that money. Well, because I had no responsibilities, I was supposed to be finding a job, but I lost my mind after Dad died. I don't even really remember that year after he died. And I woke up one day. I mean, I was doing every drug that I could possibly fucking do just to numb. I wasn't accepting the feeling of Dad gone. So I woke up one day with 2 swollen ankles and a pile of my puke. Didn't know where my car keys were, my phone, nothing. I tried to stop. I collapsed. I was like, oh shit, what did I do? Yeah. Like, screamed out my window to my neighbor, who also at that time used to work together. I was like, oh my God, can I use your phone? I got to figure out what happened, blah, blah, blah. But I realized, I was like, okay, I got a problem. Like,
yeah, you know, shit.
Okay, I got to find something to get me through this. And so this is pole dancing. This was before it was on Oprah and Ellen and was more of a mainstream thing. It was still kind of like very controversial, which is still, in some states it still is.
Yeah, yeah. It's weird, like,
you know. And so I found this studio, and it says pole dance fitness, and I'm like, that makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. And I go in, and there's these women that are barefoot, and the room was very dark, and they're just listening to this music, and they're exercising, and they are just spinning around a pole and climbing up a pole and doing these amazing acrobatic moves, and so I had my first class, and I was hooked. And it hurts, like your skin like gets calloused and you get bruised and all this stuff, but we call it the good hurt. And it actually helped me get off addiction and helped grieving through telling a story of dancing on a pole as an art, helped me get through the loss of my father. And I went, and then which is crazy, right?
Sorry.
But then
awesome.
I went to film school and I was like, you know, people, that was going to be my student thesis film, was telling the story of how pole saved my life.
Yeah.
And that, you know, it's like, who at that time, like I said, it wasn't really mainstream. And so I started meeting women, and because I was posting videos of me, and I even went back to Indiana, and there was one pole studio at that time in Indiana, and it was in a barn with wooden walls and this pole, which was like weird material, and they were like bumping and grinding around the pole, and I was like, no, I showed them how to do it more of a contemporary style, and to use it as a fitness tool versus a stripping, and they started molding it out of that program into a fitness side. So it was kind of interesting. Yeah. But I also had friends disown me, never talk to me again, because they didn't get that it was just as a fitness. And this was in 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
In a conservative small town, you know, people didn't get it. And then there were friends that loved it, you know. Yeah. And, like, you know, it's just like, you people are lame. Like, you don't need to be my friends anyways, you know.
Fuck off. You're not going to help.
Yeah, but I started meeting women. Like, one woman was raped and was on the verge. Like, she hated her life. A year went by. She was thinking of committing suicide and actually wrote a suicide note. And just couldn't go outside, didn't feel comfortable inside her own skin. And one of her friends took her to a pole fitness studio. And this woman started going to these classes, and she started becoming confident again in herself. Because when you're there, it's about loving your body and loving yourself. And you're doing these insane moves on this pole, this apparatus. Yeah. And it actually saved her life. Like, she literally was going to kill herself because she was raped, and it just destroyed her mind. But pole actually gave her confidence again.
Yeah, that's fucking the weird thing is, I don't know, no one knows, like, where I used to live, I worked in a Pilates pole fitness studio for like half a year or whatever. Yeah. So, in
LA?
Yeah, out near Pomona, like, kind of. It was just like kind of the have the handyman guy there, and as well as that, they liked having a dude there because it was just women in socks and tie highs or like that. But it turned into, I tried it as well. It is
hard,
so fucking hard. Like, I will never in my life. There's something about my brain couldn't compute with like how to make gravity work with my body, and I was like, what, this is way too hard. But the
he doesn't start barking.
Here's a squirrel. The part I thought was weird was a lot of it was like middle-aged women, and like then their husbands would come in, just say, oh, I'm here to pick up the wife, whatever. Going, oh, weird. And it's like it was exactly what you were saying. It was just like, it was just a way for them to get fit. It was a way for them to socialize.
And it's still sexy, and it's actually improved marriages because they feel sexier and more daring, and you know, it's liberating.
Yeah, actually, one of my friends who I talked to him yesterday, he works there now, and he's actually going to just come on. We have no idea what the fuck we're going to talk about, like, just in a few weeks, but he fucking does it. And
men do it too.
I was like, huh? And like,
there are male world championships.
Oh no, the best pole dancers I've ever seen online are straight up really gay dudes, but that has nothing to do with it. Too. My friend is super straight doing it, but there's a couple of gay guys that used to come in. They were way better.
Oh yeah, so most of them have like either gymnastics background or a dancer's background.
I think they're more.
Those are the ones that kill it.
They're more comfortable, I think, as well. Like,
as performers.
Yeah, and just as like kind of, I don't know what, like, different. I guess it is a topic that I would like to talk about, like, because we both live here. I guess, like, again, like, there's no. I said this in the first podcast, like, so I can only tell everybody that is listening that if I ever say anything and you were offended, you heard it wrong, you're just wrong. Like, I don't apologize for her or anybody else. If they say something, they want to say something outrageous or whatever, they can. Like, I'm not going to apologize for you. It's fine. I know you're a good person at that. But no, just to get me on the kind of like there was some correlation there with, like,
because I mean, there'll be things that people get offended by, you know, absolutely. I mean,
but
they need to understand that there's a bigger world than their own personal bubble.
It goes in, I guess, two different directions, that conversation. Like, with the whole getting offended thing, I'm trying to figure out what the term millennial millennial.
Okay,
The
millennials?
people, yeah, millennials. I'm trying to determine, pin down like an actual meaning to what kind of person that is, and the only thing I'm figuring out so far is it could be an age group, which apparently I'm in the age group of a millennial. You would be as well, like I guess.
I'm the X generation.
Generation X. So you got the cool one. Fucking great.
I'm a little older.
Yeah. Go rewind. Look up
Generation X.
Yeah. You got the cooler name, but all I'm getting, and I'm not saying this to piss people off or be controversial, all I'm getting from the whole, if you're a millennial, is you're a little whiny bitch and you're just offended about everything. You're fucking complaining about everything.
Do you want to think about that theory of that generation? Is that generation...
Careful, I'm very sensitive. I'm right here.
That generation, well, I think that they're more in their 20s. That generation, like I think you
so
kind of I think you still are on the cusp of Generation X, you know.
Yeah.
And that's my personal opinion. I mean, I'm not a. But anyways, I think that generation also were little kids during 9/11.
Yeah.
And their families lost their jobs. They lost everything, their homes, blah, blah, blah. So they grew up in that kind of situation,
turmoil, bullshit on the news.
So I mean, I think me personally, I've always thought that has a lot to do with it.
Also, I think what I think has a lot to do with it is the access to internet is a massive thing. Like internet became huge. Obviously,
I was in school when there wasn't internet.
I didn't have a phone until I was 18. Like, so I'm not saying like that doesn't give away my age really, but. Not that it matters. I'm in my 30s, but
technology outreach. Yeah, I
got my internet in the house. I remember in my mid 20s, like so, like with a bunch of guys I live with here. We get internet, fucking like it costs another €20 a month each now, and then we got it, and there wasn't much to do on it. You might have Facebook or MySpace or something like that.
Yeah,
but I think the access to an easy way to just blow your fucking opinion out there without even thinking about it, it's become way too fucking easy. And I think that makes
cyberbullying and all that.
Cyberbullying, it makes people weak. It just like it makes your opinion not as
human
valid.
Connection is not there anymore. And like phone texts and all that. No emotion.
There's the thing as well. Like it's just like I was talking to me and Ashley were talking like, again. My girlfriend. This is a normal conversation we have. Hi, love you, all that stuff. But we were talking about like, did it ever go wrong on the internet with like meeting people and stuff like that, and like. Again, I remember 5-10 years ago, if you said, hey, have you ever met anyone off the internet? I go, fuck no, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, what's the difference in meeting someone off the internet or going to a bar, getting absolutely shit-faced hammered, and then mauling someone up against the back wall? There's no right way to do this, but yes, I did meet people, and then it does turn out that they're different fucking people, or they're just not what you expected, or like, so that the new way to meet people and the connection that we can have with people is different, and we're trying to evolve. But also it's way fucking easier. You have things like Tinder or whatever like that, which I downloaded twice because one of the guys was like, dude, you gotta go on Tinder. I'm talking to 6 girls at once. It's fucking awesome.
I heard Tinder is more of a hookup site.
Yes, because I went on it for 10 minutes. I didn't swipe whichever way. Like if you're interested in someone, you swipe.
I don't know.
Say it's right. Yeah, I just kept swiping left because I was like, this is bullshit. This is a meat market. This is a menu. This is not like, you're not going to...
I don't do the online dating thing.
I don't fucking...
My brother met his wife online dating, and also one of my cousins.
ChristianMingle.com.
Yeah.
ChristianFarmers.com.
Yeah, exactly.
Freaks me out. I'm like, what?
But I did one time try the online dating thing, and... was in contact with this guy for like a month. This was a while ago, and I think it was like OkCupid or something like that. I don't even remember. And the guy like had a beard and like really like, you know, clean cut hair or whatever. And so we finally decided to meet, and I think it was down in Silver Lake at some coffee shop. And as I'm on my way driving there, he texts me, "Oh, by the way, I don't have that beard anymore." And I'm thinking, oh, okay, you know, whatever.
What a weird text.
You know, like, because, like, I guess when I get there to look for him, like, you know, and I get there, and, you know, he was decent looking, and And he was talking and stuff, and I could already tell, like, I'm like, I don't even want to be your friend, like, kind of thing. But I mean, it was being cordial, and it was nice to give it a try. But I was talking to him, and all of a sudden he turned his head, and he had like an afro growing out of his ear.
Oh man!
When
you were shaving the beard, buddy.
I kept looking at it, like looking at it, and he kept like looking at me, like, "What are you looking at?" And I was like, "You have to fucking know that you have a beard in your ear, man. Like did your beard from your face move to your ear?" It's kind of like Awesome Power when he was talking about the mole. He's like, mole. But I was just like, how could you not know? He had more hair than my vagina on his fucking hair.
For all you non-sperm rhino, whatever, I don't know.
Which right now I'm all shaved.
Okay, good. Thank God. Now we can continue now. Sorry.
I used to have a little Hitler stash,
oh my God,
like above it, and I dyed it black when I had black hair, and it looked like
just a match. It's just a Anyway, dear God. But what the fuck were we talking about? Hitler? No. Okay.
I mean Trump. I mean
All the same. Like so. But no, that is the thing. It's like kind of like I like the weirdest thing is like I met Ashley. 1994. I went to a show. Tapped her on the shoulder and I started talking to her and I was like, oh, that's the most old-fashioned way now you can, because that's so actually going to meet someone for the first time and bump into them in public is the old-fashioned way of doing it. Now it's like, how would you meet her? Oh, it's like, oh, I met her just out. Like I wasn't drinking. It was just like, you met her out sober. Oh, you weirdo. I was like, what? I was like, Jesus, like that's the hard way to do it. Like, you know, what are we doing here? Like, and bringing me back to like the convenience of like technology and internet and stuff like that. I do think it makes people's lives easier in some great ways, but when it comes to like opinions and bullshitting on about, like, even if it is fake news or propaganda,
conspiracy
theory is awesome. That's a giant motorbike. Like that's like it feels like, and I'm kind of now I'm aiming at like more extremists, like leftist people or whatever like that, as well as extremist rightist people. It fills them with like a sense of like entitlement that they're given these bullshit opinions and like they can repeat them and say them without like looking it up, and then it just creates a generation of fucking retards. Like, and I use that not in a derogatory fucking like kind of
Betsy DeVos, the new, I don't worry about it, just throw on the floor. Like Betsy DeVos, new head of education, you know, no experience in education whatsoever other than giving hundreds of millions of dollars to the GOP. I call it the gay old party, even though it's the gray old party. But you know, and that's how she got the job. Not because she has experience, not because she's a scientist, or, you know, she's like, Christian first, here is my donation. Now I'm going to control all the education in the United States. And they're trying to go back in time. It's like, we need science in America.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how we excel in our technology industry and medicine and all this stuff is people coming from other countries to here.
Yeah.
And now people are starting to not do that anymore because of the ban that Trump wants to put on and the wall that he wants to waste millions of dollars on, but yet wants to give billions to the army, and we're like the highest paid military with all the countries combined.
Yeah.
You know,
and the prison state as well, because the one thing about
prisons.
The one thing about America is everything's fucking privatized, whether it is like
private
medicine
prisons.
Or fucking private prisons.
Yeah. It's
So-
another form of slavery, but in the modern world, and the government will fund these private prisons to go lock up people for a bag of weed for 10 fucking years.
And
you know,
actually, I've never even dropped his name, even the last one. Like, so, here we go, Bernie Sanders. Like, I
love Bernie.
I don't like. I can't vote anyway. It doesn't matter my opinion on him. Like, so. But if I'm ever going on, like, again, my consciousness guides me. Like, I know where I'm safe. I know who I'm allowed to talk to that I feel safe with. I don't know fucking Bernie Sanders, and I don't know how good he would be as a president. But as a fucking human being,
He's great.
he's a fucking awesome.
He's real.
Like, he's real as fuck. Like,
He has fought for the people since he was a young man.
He's been saying the same about but you gotta talk, because you're into science and NASA and all that shit. We have to talk about climate change. So fucking God, we're so weird. I'm sorry, like this started off.
I think it's great. No,
yeah, no, it is, but it also my main thing with the kind of podcast as well is like to break stigmas with people like that. It's like an tattooed musician guy. He's obviously a dope, or a fucking
tattooed
sex industry
worker, you know.
But she knows shit, like, so it's the same thing. But the thing about Bernie was that he was like saying the same things in speeches in 1984 as he was in 2016, and the thing is, it was all still factually correct.
Yes.
And the thing about, like, again, I'm not fucking a scientist, I'm not even educated, I'm just a person that has the ability to go online and look up facts
and open your mind, not just go one direction. Look at both sides.
And look at it all and be like, all right, is climate change real? And like, what I think people misunderstand it as well with climate change is that, we've done all this in a few years. It goes, no, like, if you look at the evolution of the world and the planet, like, so climate change is an inevitable thing that is constantly occurring in every age and every aspect and every facet of life that is on this planet. So since it was like dinosaurs, or that was like more of a meteor fucking thing, or whatever.
Yeah.
But the world is constantly changing, and it takes like a lot longer than 20 years for climate change to happen. But it is a real thing that does happen over a period of time.
It is.
Like, so.
It is a real thing. I forget the scientist's name. I was just watching a documentary about the Arctic.
Yeah.
With the ice and how they drill down in there and they capture the air bubbles that have been frozen in ice for millions of years.
And they can measure.
And they can measure the CO2 and all that stuff, and how they do show that climate has changed in the atmosphere, but not to the accelerated point that we are today because of all the CO2s that we have been pumping into our atmosphere. And naturally the earth, the planet does that, but I mean, with our cars and the big businesses and all this stuff, it's helping increase the speed and also increase beyond what we should be. No, Dice is going crazy. He's mad at climate change too.
He's like, fuck climate change.
Fuck climate change.
But there's the thing is, like, there's like parts that I've learned about it is like, the thing is, it's inevitably it is going to happen anyway. Climate will change. The weather will go hotter or colder in certain parts of the world eventually anyway. And
the sun will eventually expand and take out our whole solar system.
And fucking explode, and
that'll be the end of that.
Then we'll be all like, oh,
but we might be on Mars by then. But Mars will be gone too.
Maybe
we'll be on that new solar system that was just found with the 3 planets.
I know the one you're talking
that
about.
That are in the Goldilocks zone. It's try something.
Yeah, but there's a number on one of the planets as well. It's something. I can't. It's one of them that's like, it's exactly like Earth, only 4 times the size, and has apparently the same.
In the Goldilocks zone, but it's in our galaxy.
That's something, like, again, like that I actually, because of you online just following, because you share weird fucking shit, and I'm like going, where did this? I think I ended up following like you posted something a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh, what's this? And I clicked it, and then it brought me down a rabbit hole, and then next thing I'm on Elon Musk's fucking thing, and I'm, I better follow him, and then I'm on the NASA thing, I better follow him. Like, you're really into, like...
It's fascinating to me. Like, I wish that I grew up in a educated environment that had to do with science and better math, and not about the Bible. Because, like, it fascinates me. Like, I would love to be an astrophysicist,
Again, it's a dumb question. I don't think it's even dumb, because I have my theories on, like, do you think there's aliens and stuff out there?
There has to be some form of life. Like, I believe that. Like, Europa, which is one of the moons around Saturn, I believe what it is. And they believe that there's actual liquid underneath the ice of the planet, because how you say it? Geysers?
Oh, geysers.
Thank you. They explode out into the atmosphere. So it's like form of life. I don't know necessarily as a human, but the elements that create air and minerals and iron and stuff like that. That's carbon. Life. That's life. And the little microscopic like cells and bugs. I mean, like that's life,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. Like, so I mean,
It evolves.
I honestly think it's a gigantic. We just found out there's a whole complete other solar system in our galaxy, in our Milky Way, that has in the Goldilocks zone, which is that's where Earth is. It's in the Goldilocks zone.
I'm learning something.
Yeah. Do you know what the Goldilocks
No,
zone is?
go.
So Goldilocks zone is, say we have our planets, right? But
Yeah.
Earth and Mars are in the Goldilocks zone. So that's the perfect distance from the sun
Okay.
that revolves around the Earth, and also the gravitational pull and all that creates the day and night and all the temperature, the right temperature and water and stuff like that's called the Goldilocks zone.
Okay.
Anything out of the Goldilocks zone is inhabitable.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. The new solar system that was just found, there's 3 planets that's in the Goldilocks zone. There has to be something.
Yeah.
And next year, I believe there is it's called the James Webb Telescope. NASA's launching it, and it's going to have 100 times more the optic ability than the Hubble.
Holy shit.
That they're going to be able to study the atmosphere of these planets and actually see what's going on.
So if Phantom's walking around there or moving or whatever.
Or, you know, just see, well, just like you can, the heat, you can just study atmosphere
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
you can tell that, like, oh, there's got to be life.
Yeah, there has to be something like so.
So it's pretty amazing. I
Yeah.
can't wait.
There was a thing. God, this is fucking nerdy. Like, but whatever. I think it's interesting. Like I remember listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh, yeah.
So he's awesome. He's hilarious. He's really funny.
He should
like,
run for president.
But he was doing a podcast and it was on Joe Rogan's podcast, which I haven't even mentioned Joe Rogan yet, which I feel really good. I love that podcast. I think it's one of the reasons why I want to do this.
Cool.
I learn a lot of shit off it. But he was like, they were talking about like life and is there other life, and there's like the potential. It's all probable possibilities. Like it's all measurable that there might be and all like that. But he was talking about how potentially or possibly Earth started, and the way it was probably a dormant planet like Mars or somewhere like that. And when he said it, I was like, Jesus, that makes perfect sense. Like the thing is, you have
You mean God didn't make it?
Oh yeah, in 7 days. And on the 7th day, he took a day off and then
there was
had a margarita and fucking
Okay,
kicked
sorry.
back. Yeah. Obviously, that's obviously what did happen. But let's go. Neil deGrasse Tyson's idea was potentially what might have happened, just like the way Mars is just like it's a dormant planet or something. It's limited to the elements that it has. Earth was limited to the elements that it has, and what might have happened was that a meteor would have flew through space and knocked off Mars and then hit Earth. Now we gotta think the probability of this happening is not at all. Like it's open space. What are the chances that 2 tiny little needle pin fucking targets get hit by the same rock? But a meteor lands on Earth carrying fragments of Mars, which basically create like carbon or different fucking 2 elements mixed together. Like when you mix potassium with water, it bubbles. Like so 2 things happened, and that's where the start of life came from. This was their theory. Like so it started in the ocean because these chemicals and elements started. I'm like, Jesus, the chances of that fucking happening are like not really at all. Like I don't even know how you'd measure that. So even if there is a billion other planets, is there a chance that happens in a different galaxy or a different solar system or whatever? And it's just like I
trust me, it's just more factual to me than, was it creationism?
Yeah.
So
but that's the thing. When he said that, and I was listening to it, going, that makes way more sense.
And they're getting closer and closer. I mean, hell, like we've only been in space for 50 years and only a handful of times. And
apparently that's all been a hoax as well.
And like Galileo.
Galileo.
Thank you, Galileo. I mean, he had the first telescope, I think it was, like the little handheld one. I think it was him. And I mean, that was like, what, in the 14th, 16th century? Or
oh, I heard today how they figured out that it was Lawrence Krauss was the guy. He's a scientist guy. He does it with like Richard Dawkins and stuff.
Yes.
And they were talking about how they figured out the curvature of the Earth today. And I was like back
Yeah, back then.
Fucking hundreds of years
yeah,
ago.
I watched a documentary about that too. But this is what I'm saying. We would have been way more ahead than where we are today when it comes to finding out how everything was created and all that stuff if it wasn't for religion.
Yeah.
Because just like, back then, they had to keep it secret because it was witchcraft and whatever, be locked up because they were scientists and they're ideologists and, it's just...
You're not allowed to think that it doesn't... Which
is surprising to me that Trump invested it into the deep space program of NASA, but yet took away the EPA and regulations here on Earth. Yeah, we have the EPA, but the guy who runs it fought against the EPA his whole life because he's an oil man.
Yeah.
Self-interest. So I mean, he just defunded NASA for using our weather satellites.
They're used every single day. Right?
Yeah, I mean that's to study our atmosphere and to figure out climate change is going on and all.
Which doesn't exist.
But yeah, he just put in some billions of dollars for deep space of NASA. So it's what? It doesn't make sense to me. Who are you?
Yeah.
You corrupt Russian asshole.
Yeah.
I like Russian, sorry, but not the government.
And it does bring us to that as well. Do you think there's because it's always on the news, the conspiracy of...
Oh, absolutely. There's a reason why Trump has not given away his taxes. Okay, he dropped out... supposedly he released the 2005, which shows it perfect, which is interesting because him and Melania Trump got married in 2005, so he would have to show those taxes in 2005 or something like that.
Yeah.
I was kind of reading about that. But I believe that Russian espionage, 100%... It's kind of a no-brainer if you think about it. His son, what's his name? Jared, his son-in-law.
He's a weird-looking guy.
Ivanka Trump.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
He's being sensitive. That was nice. He doesn't like the Russian situation, but it just came out that I think his name's Jared, who's Trump's son-in-law, and is married to Ivanka, who they just gave them both an office in the White House and made up a new job title for them. So now they get clearance to everything. That Jared also has a bank account and connections to this Russian bank that is funded by Putin, who it has been in overtime history. And this has been on every news channel except for Fox. Go figure. Because I do watch Fox online just to see what kind of bullshit they're saying.
It's interesting.
But not Fox, but that this bank has funded Russian spies here in America. It's been proven. It's been fought in courts before. They've exiled these guys before, but now it's come out that this Jared, the son-in-law of Trump, who Trump supposedly has no connections to Russia, is working for this bank in Russia. It's just too. It's gonna all hit the fan. I mean, it's too corrupt. And the first 60 days in office?
Yeah, that was as well as...
This can't go on for 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know. You see, that's the thing. I stopped watching it all. I purposely stopped watching it all.
I had to, too.
Yeah.
Because it's driving me insane.
Yeah, it was. It was it became...
You can only do so much.
No, I said that in the first podcast. It was it was becoming too much of a shit show, and I was I can't handle this. This is ridiculous, and it's not something I need to be worrying about right now.
Yeah.
Again, as well as
because it's not going to go anywhere.
It's not going to go anywhere.
You can miss a week or two, and you'll learn more.
And I'm watching people online, whether they're my friends or they're just people I know or whatever, and they're fucking killing each other over this stuff as well. And I'm going, guys, you're all fighting with
my brother's pro-Trump.
You see, there you go.
And him and I've gotten into heated battles on Facebook, but we always tell each other we love each other. I told him, I was you need to get out of your bubble, dude.
Yeah, but they're
well, he's a businessman. I'm really? Well, how good of a businessman is he? Because he got daddy's money, and got daddy's business interests when he went away, when his father died, and we don't know what his business interests are because he won't release his taxes.
Yeah,
And
honestly, a good point that was made by Bob in the first... you met him. He's the priest on one of the videos.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
Yeah. There you go. He made actually a really good point. He was I asked him, do you think he should release him or whatever? And he goes, yeah, he should and all that. But he goes, he's almost sure he's done nothing illegal. He goes, I bet you.
What about
he's done
Trump
nothing.
University?
Well, you can claim bankruptcy on all that stuff. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, he screwed over people and had to
money
pay
from
back
them.
millions of $25 million to those people.
I don't know.
And then also his casino went under because he never paid the contractors that built the thing.
Yeah.
You know, and it went bankrupt. I mean, there's endless like Trump steaks, Trump vodka, Trump Airlines. They all went under.
Yeah.
You know, and then like he was a hypocrite about Obama playing golf. You know, now he's out on his golf carts every weekend.
Yeah.
It's like fucking hypocrites.
But do you really? And there's the other thing as well. Is do you think it's like? I have a hard time believing that any one person has that much control or has that much say in any way. So, and like when I think we're fed like from Fox News and stuff. It's like, it's funny that it's called faux news or something as well. Like,
Fox News.
Fox.
FAUX.
Yeah.
A lot of people say
that we're fed this like facade just to keep us all fucking occupied and fighting.
Shows,
yeah. But it's just to like give them something to fucking bicker over, and then behind the curtain, it's like the Wizard of Oz. It's like we're controlling everything. Fuck these fucking people. Like so, I don't know. Another thing is I don't think we're ever going to fucking know the truth, unless.
Oh, and Alex Jones.
I love him.
Do you?
I think he's hilarious.
I want to. Alex Jones, if you listen to this, I want to kick you in your balls.
I want to fucking meet you. Like,
why do you like him?
He's a lunatic. I don't like him.
Wacko job.
That's the thing. Like, I like him for every reason you hate him, and like, it's just listening to him going.
I mean, he made a following.
He's made a fucking fortune, though. Like as well. Like it's just we'll get back to that as well. No, but like, that's the thing. Like, it's you can clearly any rational, logical person can listen to him talk and go, this is fucking bullshit. Like,
but
come on,
people though that believe it.
I know, and there's also people that won't. If you argue with them about it, it's like, hey, look, there's just a bit of proof over here to debunk pretty much everything. The thing he was going on about was there was the intergalactic sex ring or something going on about like inside Pizzagate, which is debunked, like all bullshit.
And people still believe it because he said it, even though it's debunked.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. Like,
but that's the problem with this time of era is that like. People don't give a shit.
So I'll ask you the impossible question. Give me a way to how do we fix it? How do we fix it right now? Like,
I mean, like there's a thing about freedom of speech, but when is there like the fine line?
The freedom of ignorance.
When it's like almost like conspiracy espionage, you know?
Because
like when is there a fine line? Should there be a law that be like, okay, you can have free speech, but like when it comes to ruling a world or politics and stuff like that, should there be a law that like you can get in trouble for like, you know, because I think the times have changed so much that I personally think something like that should happen.
I think I always think of Jim Jeffries, the Australian comedian, like so, and his argument about like whether it's the gun thing or whatever like that, and he goes, he was talking about guns and
the NRA and stuff
that. But an American was like, you can't change the amendments, and he's like, but you can. It's called an amendment. That means we can change. Like you can change it. We can change the rules. Like I don't know. It's just like my point being is like I don't want people to listen to and go, oh, these are fucking super one-way opinionated. I'm not learning that, and I want to figure out something that I can like have a conversation with someone I don't agree with. And be like, hey, look, just like, can we fucking talk about this and maybe get some information in here, some facts? We'll use some science. You don't believe in science? All right. Unfortunately, that doesn't matter because science is real. You believe in Jesus? That's fine as well. Right. But unfortunately, science trumps all that.
You know, as soon as fucking Jesus comes in on his stallion unicorn, I'll believe. You know, I will believe. I'll be like, well, I was wrong. Until then, I'll just believe in the facts. But you can like religion, not to knock it. Like if you're into it, that's cool. I grew up around it and stuff, but I just opened my mind to science.
Yeah,
you know?
And it just makes more sense as well. Like, but to me, I found out like I read a lot of Buddhist stuff when I was traveling years ago, and the Dalai Lama guy was like, well, we believe what we believe. And if science comes along and proves it otherwise, then we'll change it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, holy fuck, that's like really cool. And that was like a big thing for someone to say in a kind of a spiritual organization or whatever you would class Buddhism as. But it was like, oh yeah, if we could all just like live like that, I'd be okay. Like
Yeah.
I could be like, oh shit, just like you said, if Jesus comes along with a unicorn. Yeah, unicorns don't exist, but Jesus did. Like, okay.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm all aboard. Like, cool. It's proven. It's some fucking fun and facts to it. Like, so, Dice Man's like, what the fuck are you freaks talking
you're
about?
my
Like,
Jesus. Yes.
yep.
You to be yours.
Anyway, yeah, I don't. What a weird. I don't know where this conversation went. Like, so it went all over the
That's
place.
the
Like, so,
beauty of it all, you know.
yeah. But that's I don't like. I don't really have anything else to. I don't have any questions. Like, do you have questions? Because like, there's a lot of information there as well. It's like it went from fucking like. Again, I'm still stuck on the 2 foot long black
to
guy.
pole dancing to science to,
Yeah.
to
Do you have
politics.
anything- yeah, no, but it's all relevant as well. And like the thing is, that's my point as well in doing this. That like, you don't. I'm not giving you a voice, but I'm just saying like there's people like you that like you are in a profession. You still have an opinion on it. It doesn't belittle the opinion you have on.
Yeah.
On serious world topics or science or whatever the fuck it is, like just like the guy, hopefully it's gonna be next week or the week after, like he was a former pastor, used to believe in all that shit and gave up on that because he realized it wasn't getting the work done, so he went and just started building schools or hospitals or whatever it was himself.
Yeah.
And started raising the money himself.
Kind of like a humanitarian.
Yeah, I guess and it didn't really need anything. Like that's my thing, to share light on my opinions on things and hopefully learn stuff. I learned some stuff now. Like it's like, oh shit, I didn't know that. That's awesome. And just again, I just wanted to get to know you better as well. Like so,
this has been great. It's been fun.
I like it,
and it's cool because this is a side of me that a lot of people don't know.
I guarantee you, they don't know it.
Yeah.
Like, because again, even I'm like, I thought like, where will this go? What will we talk about? I'm like, all right, and I wanted to ask questions about the fucking whole fetish thing. And I'm like, how the fuck do I say that? Is that like a weird thing?
My favorite part though in the fetish film was playing a stormtrooper with a strap on.
Oh. Yeah,
it came out right before the last Star Wars movie.
And
it was up for AVN award. It was nominated, which AVNs,
that's the
if you guys
Vegas
don't
thing,
know,
right?
It's like the Oscars for porn.
So
yeah, it's in Vegas.
Yeah, I see the pictures. Do you are you allowed to sell those things?
The DVD. Yeah, it's actually on AnastasiaPierce.com site for. Yeah, check it out. AnastasiaPierce.com. If you go to Anastasia Pierce and Amelea Dark, if you Google those two, you'll see some videos that we've done together. But I play a stormtrooper with a strap on. Anastasia Pierce plays Princess Leia, and Diana Knight plays Lady Vader.
I've seen the.
Go
get the. She has DVDs, so I guess I'm like, I feel so weird in saying if you want to support her, you can go buy these weird. I don't know. Like
here, I'll let you.
Oh yeah.
This one was the one that was nominated for AVN award.
So this one's called Layla Strikes Back.
Yeah, Leia Strikes Back. Yeah, I'm the stormtrooper.
She is the stormtrooper that gets.
And then there's this one too.
Probably fucking. Oh my god.
Yeah, here, like this one's better.
This one's called the Pearls of Slave Leia. Yeah. And I'll just do this 1 sec. There you go, just in case there's no boobs on YouTube. Yeah, this is for 18s plus, I guess, or 21s.
Definitely 18 and over.
Yeah.
And then this one, I play the demon, but I'm the one. I have a black wig on that one. But I was the cock monster.
In Vampire Huntress.
Yeah, in Vampire Huntress. Yeah.
Dude, Hollywood's a weird place. I'm just saying.
I know, it is.
It's full of awesome people.
I love it.
Okay, so if they want to buy that, where did they go?
You can Google Leia Strikes Back and you'll find but if you type in Amelea Dark and Anastasia Pierce, you'll find several links and
you'll see a whole other side of her.
Yeah, and I'm on Twitter, Amelea Dark on Twitter. I used to have a site, but Twitter is just easier. Yeah. Especially, I guess I don't really push my character a lot. Maybe I will soon in the future, but I haven't.
Yeah, I follow her. It's strange because it's weird. I'm like looking at it going, oh Jesus, like I know her. This is
who is this woman?
Yeah. No, I was like, oh, she's actually really cool. Like, so I was like, go to Spearmint Rhino and start talking about aliens or Planet X or whatever the fuck. Like,
aliens with my boobs in your face.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh god, there'll be a line around the corner. Okay, anyway, we'll stop probably. I don't know what else to talk about. That's just fucking. I think that's just a good segue to get the fuck out of here. Like so.
Cool.
Every Thursday, It's going to be the Triggerman podcast. I'm going to have a different guest on, different weird and wonderful person with something going on in their lives, or just someone I want to get to know. And then in between those, I'm doing what's called the 0.5 podcast. So it's basically like the ones in between, and it's really just me sitting in a room ranting about nothing really, or whatever's going on in the week, or UFC, or fucking Starbucks, or something stupid like so. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, tune in every Thursday. This is the Triggerman podcast. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Cock.
Cock.
Thanks, Sue.
Bye, guys.
All right. Oh my God. Okay. Hi, I love you, Mom.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.